Hello, and welcome back to your new favorite podcast about living the simple life. I am your host, Brooke Chase, and today we are talking style. We will find out how to make stylish outfits out of the clothes you already have, as well as shop for specific pieces to update your style that will allow you to make even more and fill in the gaps, all while exposing your own personal personality. So, if you've been listening, this is the third of our series of Simply Fashion. The first one, we exposed the fashion industry's waste. So, if you haven't listened to that, please do. You will be shocked by the numbers. In the next episode of the series, we talked about simplifying your closet. So, decluttering, how to organize it, things like that. And then today, we're basically taking all those pieces that we absolutely love and figuring out how to style them together and making some mindful purchases about for the other things that we need. So we have a very special guest today. I do feel like I'm kind of an expert in this because I love it so much, but I have a real expert for you today. Her name is Erin LaRoche. She was born and raised here in Savannah, Georgia, and she has a bachelor's from Athens, Georgia, and she also has a Georgia Film Academy degree. She loves music and the arts, and in 2018, she helped renovate and open a venue. I think it's called Victory North is the name of it, which led her to cover 200 years of numerous styles in commercials, photo shoots, short films, motion pictures. She has proven her tenacity in the industry time and time again. She is highly creative and detail-oriented fashion designer. She is a single mom. She has a kitty named Marshmallow and a teenager named Sophie. She is a business owner of Chunky Possum, a woman's advocate. And trust me when I tell you, or you meet her or see her on the YouTube video, this woman has got style. I am truly honored to know her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, Erin LaRoche.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, lady. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Brooke?
I am good. I'm so excited to have you on. Let's just start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, well, I'm not a great drawer, okay? So I like to think of myself as an artist because I think we all are art in our own way. And I just really am good with threads, with fabrics, with textures, with color wheel, with just looking at someone and knowing what will look good on them. And I find joy in doing that and executing that so well. There are a lot of people that are involved in fashion. We all have different eyes. We all can bring different things to the table. We all have different strengths. Mine is definitely, like you said, being able to just know someone's canvas by looking at them. I love that you can express yourself through clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of self-expression in, clothes, accessories. Like I'm here every day. I am covered in them. To me, that's what makes fashion fun is just being a walking piece of art.
Absolutely. That's my favorite thing about fashion is I feel that when you are dressed a certain way to go to certain places, even though we kind of always have that same sense of style, it's obviously the first impression that someone has of you. And I think it's important to be yourself and to show, give them a little taste of what they're going to get.
Absolutely, yeah. And as far as being sustainable is concerned, one of my show notes for this podcast was to pick out your outfit the day before, right? Well, for me personally, that's really hard to do because I don't ever know what mood I'm going to be in when I wake up in the morning.
Right?
And, I don't know how I'm going to want to express myself that day. And, I can make a sweatsuit look business appropriate.
Mhm.
It just depends on how you wear it.
Right.
So.
Yes, I can't wait to talk about that. Um, Awesome. So what I know that you've done a lot of different work with different time periods. What is your favorite time period
Oh my
for
God. Okay.
fashion?
So the 70s, 100% hands down the 70s.
Oh, I love it.
I was born in 85, so I didn't quite make
Mm,
that decade. But for me, it goes back to expression. In the 70s was the first time that you really saw people truly expressing themselves through clothes, through different textures. Leather, corduroy was introduced in the 70s. Platform shoes, you first saw them in the 30s, I believe. Really made their way in the 70s. You think of 1977, I think, Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta in the white disco suit. Iconic.
right.
Um, you think of musicians like Dave Bowie, Jimi Hendrix, Elton John, um, Prince, the Ramones for punk rock era. The 70s just really, the hippie movement, the Black Panther movement. I mean, there's so much culture saturated with the 70s that, even though from a political standpoint, it wasn't the best of times, I think people really, turned to clothes to express themselves.
Yeah.
And jewelry. I think the accessories first started getting truly layered and chunky and bold
Mm-hmm.
in the 70s. Gold was huge. I think they used to say big, bold, and gold was a
Oh
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say like graphic tees came out in the 70s?
Graphic tees came out before the 70s, but
Okay.
as far as like musicians using graphic tees for tour merch,
Okay.
and stuff like that became really popular in the 70s, for
Cool.
sure. Yeah. And God, I mean, so many things like squared buttons, I think were squared buttons came out in the 70s. You never see those anymore.
I
But
was
what
gonna
else?
say I don't even know if I've ever seen a square
Yeah,
button.
the oversized collars, on dress shirts, the really chunky, just chunky stuff. You look at my
Yeah.
necklace, my earrings. I'm all about chunky stuff.
Yeah.
I wish
Awesome.
I wish I could live a day in the 70s just once.
Oh, me too. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I know that you have done costume on set for a lot of different movies. Tell us some of like the biggest movies that you've done and the biggest stars that you've worked with.
I have a movie out in theaters right now that I was the principal costumer on, which means that I, along with my set partner, Xenia, she and I took care of all the principal actors that you see in this movie. It's called Origin. It is directed by Ava DuVernay. I worked alongside Ingenue Lewis and John Bernthal, Blair Underwood, many, many, many actors. John Bernthal, for me, definitely made that movie. I covered him 100%, and him and I, we had a lot of downtime to get to know each other, and just a real stand-up guy, great actor.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's always great whenever you can connect with the actor on a more personal level. Doing costumes, you are really intimate with these people. Um, you are having to work with their bodies, and it's your responsibility on how they appear on a movie screen. So it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stress that you're going to make them look their best. You know, so
Didn't you do that Harry Styles one though? Didn't you tell
he
me that you did that one?
Jonas, Joe Jonas.
Oh, I'm calling him the wrong name. That's Joe Jonas. So what was
Yeah.
the name of that movie again?
Devotion. It was a Korean war movie um, that came out a few years ago. Yeah,
And you did that one, right?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that was the first motion picture that I did costumes on. Actually, was Devotion.
Wow. So were you
Yeah,
like starstruck a little bit or no?
not really. I worked in music production for a long time before film,
Okay.
um, so I've been exposed to famous people for most
Yeah.
of my life, honestly. So there have been a few times where I have been, um, speechless, I guess you can say. One of those would have been definitely when I met Oprah.
Oh my
Did,
God, you met Oprah?
did not know what to say to that lady.
Holy.
Yeah, Tyler Perry, that man demands a room. Um, these are big powerhouses, right? So,
Wow.
you know, definitely speechless with those two for sure.
When did you meet Oprah?
She was filming The Color Purple last year or
Oh
2 years
yeah.
ago in Atlanta whenever we were filming Origin here in Savannah. And Ava DuVernay and her are really good friends. And so she came to visit our set for a few days and see what Origin was all about. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. She was very nice.
So let's get into the show really quick. I'm going to do a little commercial here for Frownies. So if you're watching on YouTube, you will see my forehead. I do not currently have any Botox, which I'm not saying that I will not ever get Botox. It's been about, I don't know, maybe 2 years since I've gotten any Botox. But I am keeping it at bay. I do not have any like super deep wrinkles right now. And that is all thanks to all natural Botox alternative, which is Frownies. They're like little paper mache stickers. You put them on your forehead and it releases all the tension while you sleep and you wake up smooth as glass. So if you are interested in trying a Botox alternative, please get yourself some Frownies. Code SIMPLE for 10% off and you'll help me pay not nearly 10% of my bills, but I'll get 10%. So let's just talk about styling in general. So, we've gone through our closet now. We've decluttered everything. We are left with our favorite pieces. So, in your opinion, essential favorite pieces that we need to have some like top-notch outfits here? Like, are there any specific pieces that you're thinking that you just gotta have?
I definitely believe every woman should have a go-to pair of denim that you can dress up or down. The
Yep,
pair that if you lose 5 pounds, they still fit. If you gain 5 pounds, they still fit.
that's right.
That pair is very important to have because we all fluctuate,
Uh-huh.
So I think that having things that you can layer are extremely important. It's definitely a way to make more space in your closet or dresser. If you know that you have, say, 3 tank tops and 5 go-to graphic tees, maybe you style those together and layer them up with a sweater if it's colder outside. Layers definitely, you can layer skirts, you can layer dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's very important. I think as far as another go-to, I think everybody, no matter what, should have a sweatsuit. It doesn't have to match.
Mm-hmm.
You have a go-to sweatshirt and you should have a go-to pair of sweatpants just for comfort at home, if nothing else. I think everybody should have something that makes them feel sexy. That could be anything. That could be lingerie. That could be,
Mm-hmm.
that little black dress that everybody says should be in your closet.
Mm-hmm.
It could be your boyfriend's football jersey. It doesn't matter what it is, but something that is a go-to sexy feel for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because we all deserve to feel that way sometimes. Um,
Absolutely. And I think like the biggest part about fashion is like it's so hard because we have so much media. We're surrounded by these influencers that tell us what sexy is, that tell us what trendy is, that tell us what's blah blah blah. But really bottom line is how it makes you feel. I have a friend who's like mom jeans are in and skinny jeans are out, but she doesn't like how she feels in mom jeans and she loves how she feels in skinny jeans. And it's like, well then you rock those skinny jeans, girlfriend.
yeah,
Like you have
that's
to wear what you feel
one
comfortable
thing
and good in.
that is really, I would say, probably the most difficult thing about my career and being involved in costumes on the film side of things is that, your ultimate goal is you want the person, the actor, to the model, to feel comfortable in what they are wearing. So that's where I really connect and make that person feel comfortable because for me it is clothes are something that you should feel comfortable in Yes, are we going to wear that sequin dress to the New Year's party that's going to itch our armpits? Yeah, we're going to do that. There are times where you might not feel your most comfortable self, but the gist is,
Does it look good? No, it's okay.
well, it has to look good too. So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always, is it functional? Is it fashionable? And I try to do both wherever possible. But every once in a while, one of them really, really, really outweighs the other one. Like if they're just so freaking comfortable, I might
yeah.
not care. Or if it's just so good looking, I might not care if it's
I
that
swear I'm gonna design, like right now I'm wearing a romper. I love rompers because it is an easy
so easy.
throw on one piece outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to think about the pieces that go with it. It is one
Nope.
piece.
Yep.
But I'm convinced and determined that one day I'm gonna just make like a onesie romper of some sort where we don't have to crawl out of our
Yeah. See
bodies.
stark naked in the bathroom.
My gosh, like
Uh,
that's funny.
all right. Well, I have a list of things that I think are very important to our essentials. And I'll just kind of shoot them off here. But it's important to remember that when you're wearing these things that you have to find the one that not only is good quality and made of something that is not hopefully plastic, or you're purchasing it secondhand or something like that, but it's about how it feels and how it looks on you. So it doesn't matter if it's $10. If it doesn't look good, you're still not going to wear it. And so then it's just taking up room in your closet and giving you a mental breakdown because every time you want to wear those pleather pants that were $10 that just don't look right, they just don't look right. So, all right. I just recently got this leather jacket. I feel like having a go-to leather jacket just has pulled in so many of my outfits that I didn't otherwise have. Has been a really great piece for me. Same with the jean jacket. I remember I was traveling to go to an airport, and I never knew that there were like those inside pockets to a jean jacket. I
My
will not
go-to
travel without.
airport.
What did you
Yep.
say?
It's my go-to airport piece is a
Me
denim
too.
jacket, period.
I
Every time.
never knew that those pockets were on the inside of a leather jacket. This was like years ago, but I remember I was like, oh my God. It was like my intuition told me to wear this jean jacket, and now I know why.
Well, and if you don't have inside pockets on your jackets, they're very easy to add and to sew on. So I definitely recommend everybody do that.
Okay.
Um,
I
very,
did not.
very, yeah, very important piece when carrying your phone and travel stuff through an airport for sure.
Absolutely. I'm obsessed with a jean jacket. So definitely those two things. Like Erin said, your everyday jeans. And these can be, mom jeans. These can be skinny jeans. These can be any type of jeans that you feel good in. For me, I like them to be a little bit more structured and a little bit more like tapered throughout the leg because then I feel like I can wear them with heels or boots or sneakers. Basic white tee. And again, like if you can get one that's like maybe a little bit more on the expensive side because maybe it has like a little detail that you like, but you're probably going to wash this a lot. So you want it to be like a good quality one. Same with like long sleeve layers. And I always opt for like a black one and a white one. Same with shoes. Like I'll do like a brown pair and a black pair. Oversized thermal. I have this one that I got at the Goodwill, and every boyfriend I have is like, "Is that mine?" And I'm like, "No, it's mine. I love it." Every boyfriend, as if I've had like a lot. Like, okay, two. I had it for a long time. Put it that way. Okay. What'd you say?
That's not too bad. You could have too many like me.
I don't even have a roster of one at the moment, so I need to work on that. Black leggings with a pocket. I swear, if I don't have a pocket in my pants at this point, I'm not buying them because I'm just never going to wear them because I'm going to wear the ones with the pockets. So that. An oversized sweatshirt, a baseball cap, a beanie. I really like the boxy sweaters, but apparently that's because of my body type, which we're going to get to in a minute. And a turtleneck. Bags, you got to have like your fanny pack, a crossbody, and like a little book bag. And then, like a bigger, more structured bag. The wide leg trouser is really in right now, and I feel like that's something that I'm looking for. I finally found a pair, but they're way too long. So again, I'm either going to have to get them hemmed or try again because I cannot wear them even with heels right now. They're just way too long. An oversized plaid shirt, an oversized blazer, black flares, button fly, high waisted. I think that if you have those in your closet and they fit you how they should, you can wear those any place, any way, any day, and they will be a great thing to have in your wardrobe. I am currently looking for a maxi skirt, but I'll show you the skirt that I have on. This is taking the place. I want like a silk one, but this is like this is Vintage Express, and it has the buttons in the front, and it just goes all the way down to the ground. And I love this skirt. I wear it all the time.
I think turtleneck, for instance, is a great layering piece. I think always remembering, you want bulkier items that you can place on top of more conformed items, when it comes to layering. Or, I mean, hell, there's even people who take the bulkier item and put something conformed over the top of that. So, it's whatever you want to do. Like for instance, a tank top over a dress, as an example of that,
Yeah, let's get into like unexpected ways to wear things to kind of like transition. So like what you were saying, I just did on social media. I shared a video of a little black dress worn a whole bunch of different ways, but like I wore stuff over it, like what you said, a turtleneck.
Dresses, first, you can layer a skirt underneath a dress, to give it,
like length.
Yeah, to give it
Oh,
length.
good idea. I never thought about that.
And to mix patterns. I think a lot of people are afraid to mix certain patterns or to wear too much texture. I personally don't think there is such a thing. I think it all depends on how you wear it. I am queen of mix and prints and mix and earrings even. So don't let that, deter you from what you want to wear. When you're looking at pieces, that you have, don't think, oh, well, because this is not in the same color palette, it doesn't go, or this is two different animal prints, I can't wear them, or this is horizontal and this is vertical. There's no such thing.
Right.
There's
no such thing as white after or before Labor Day anymore. Winter white.
I have a ton of dresses that, are a little short, and I might wear those dresses by themselves to the beach over a bathing suit, or I might take the same dress it up, wear a nice long skirt underneath it, and change the whole look of the outfit. That was where I first started getting really daring in fashion, is just mixing things up that didn't make sense to anybody but me. And then people started liking it. So, like you were talking about jackets, and I really think something that people can do to make jackets fun, which is something that I do, embellish your jackets. You're bored.
I love that.
You're bored of the same denim jacket, but you wear it all the time and you love the fit. Well, then change it up, add stuff to it. And that can be paint, that can be patches, that can be jewels, that can be glitter, that can be anything you want it to be. And if you don't know how to do it, YouTube it. My all-time favorite piece, which I actually, oh my God, I got to show you guys because I think it's really cool. It is a jacket that my father wore
I can't wait to see this.
60s during Woodstock.
Oh my God.
This jacket. Okay, this is the collar of this jacket.
Stop.
Right? But I embellished it, and I've added patches and whatnot to it. And it's got my name on the back.
Oh my God, I love that.
My favorite jacket, inside pockets and everything. But this piece of denim has been around since the 60s, and I'm still using it.
Yes, and denim is one of those things that is so sturdy.
Right.
You don't need
it's on a hanger. For any of you people, you need to
Yeah.
also know what you hang on hangers and what not, because this
Right.
is obviously always going to be folded, or the collar is going to be, tampered.
Destroyed. Yeah.
Right. So, but still, I mean, here I am. I mean, how many years ago was that? Oh my God. And I'm still
Right.
rocking it, you know.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so, and it's been, 70 years almost since this jacket was
That's
made.
so wild.
So, yeah.
Well, that's what you do at Chunky Possum, right?
That is. That's what I do.
Tell
And
us, tell us a little bit about that.
Chunky Possum. So
Yeah.
I have been furloughed from full time film contract work due to the actors and writers strikes that happened last year.
Mm.
And I am a single mom, so I am limited to travel. I do have a movie on the books coming up this summer that I'm going to do costume design for. But with work being slower than I was used to, I really dove into a little side project that I had already started called Chunky Possum. And it is where I have a vintage collection that I share with the community at local markets around town, where I am passing along my collection, to be more sustainable and give my part. And also, Chunky Possum does upcycling on denim mainly, denim vests, denim jackets, denim jeans, skirts, shorts, anything you can think of denim. I will take a vintage piece and I will embellish it by custom design that I'm doing specifically for someone, or my own design. A lot of times when I am doing a custom design for people, I like to tell a story. So the jacket will actually take on a whole new meaning, and tell a story about this person or something that they want to express when wearing the jacket. Um, a message that they may want to get across. So that's mainly what we do. I also make earrings, and I use mainly recycled products to make all of my earrings. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. It's gotten me involved with the community a lot more. I've met a lot of people like you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it feels good to see people wearing my designs and my visions, stuff that I sit right here at home and piddle around and stay creative that way as well. So it's
I
nice.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's literally how we met. So I went to First Friday, and I've always been into buying secondhand and vintage and all that anyways.
Yeah.
So when I saw your stand, of course, I was drawn to it to take a look at what you had.
Yeah.
But I actually saw this shirt. We just started talking about fashion. And then I realized that you were making some of your pieces. We started talking about sustainability and everything. And then she just gave me this shirt, which is what I literally saw when I was all the
I know.
way across the road. I was like, oh my God, I love that shirt.
I didn't even know that you wanted that shirt.
But yeah, so I'm wearing that backwards right now, and you can wear anything backwards if you want to. You can wear things inside out.
Exactly.
There are no rules.
Right. Right. Just make sure you're dressed when you leave the door. We don't want to get you in trouble.
That's true. How did you come to learning as much as you know of sustainability and
I
fashion?
started looking at where clothes that I had were made, especially when I started getting more into the vintage world,
Mm-hmm.
learning and educating myself on tags, because it's a really easy way to look at a tag and tell what era that tag is from, right? When I started paying attention to where things were made, it made me dive a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are these things made? Well, what companies are really allowing us as consumers to who's being transparent,
Right.
how do we know where these things are really being made? What are the factories, manufacturing plants, how are they being ran? A lot of companies actually hide this, and that makes
Oh
you
yeah.
second guess everything right there. Well, why are you
Mm-hmm.
hiding? We're your consumers. We should be able to see all of this. We should be able to know all of this. How are you treating these people?
Yeah.
What's really in your product? So when I just started thinking and kind of going down that rabbit hole, and then I love documentaries. I am a huge fan of documentaries, and started watching, just different documentaries that were
Do you have
on
a
my.
good one for us to watch? Like, what was your favorite one?
Um, God, I can't remember the name of it. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
But the one in particular, went over to China, and it was really, heart wrenching to watch, and really just opened my eyes into sustainable fashion. And
Yeah.
I knew polyester was bad. I mean, I didn't. I think it's like over 90 million textile waste created by fashion industry a year, 9 million
Yeah.
tons. And
It's
just
a garbage truck every second.
yeah, I mean, some of these numbers are just
Yeah.
really huge. You can't not pay attention to them, right?
Right.
And um, for me personally, I there's always something more to learn on a topic, right? There's always more to read. There's always, and if I'm going to be involved in the fashion industry for hopefully forever, it's up to me to educate myself on ways that I can help make a difference and make things better. You know, and just the numbers alone, I mean, are staggering.
70 million barrels of oil are used each year to make the world's polyester fiber, which is 60% of the clothes that we have. Every time you wash the polyester, microplastics are coming off into the water. It causes inflammation, reduced fertility.
Knowing the afterlife of the garment is really, really important. I mean, like Patagonia, for instance, there are
Mhm.
companies that do take back programs for
Yeah.
their clothes. Patagonia is a great one. Yay, Patagonia.
Hmm.
But, the afterlife of the garment, how sustainable is the garment when you purchase it? If you don't know now, if you didn't know.
Exactly. And
So,
even like the water to make it, it's crazy. Like the dye, just to go back to what you're saying about the garment, like what happens to it, 83% of it ends up in the garbage.
right. I think markets are becoming a bigger thing, and in communities around. I think vending and these pop-up markets are really taken off in cities because it's a way for businesses to drive more business by having these events.
Hmm.
It's a way for the business to give room for artists in the community and support us. Our economy is not the best right now. We're all looking for side hustles, and at the same time, here we are, giving back to the community and being sustainable. And people are coming to these markets, and the people that are coming are making them successful. So I definitely think there's a lot more education out there, and people are becoming a lot more self-aware on ways to become more sustainable in fashion. Listening to your friends, listening to what other people have to say. Everybody should really do their part, whatever that is.
So just to go back to like looking at your closet and seeing things that you already have, I being creative and pairing things that you might not think of that go together. Opposites attract. And you're not really sure like how to style. This is actually a friend of mine. Her name is Dallas Shaw. But this is a book called The Way She Wears It. Every single page I turn, I love it more and more and more. And she has drawings in there. She's a fashion illustrator, but things like leather and plaid, or silk and then cable knit, or like pattern on pattern. I think colors and then like opposite of the size of the pattern. Black and navy used to be such a fashion faux pas, but it looks so good together if you do it right. Like what you were talking about, monochromatic, just wearing all the same color or like slightly different shades of all that same color. Fair Isle and bling, graphic tees with a blazer or a pencil skirt.
Yeah, love
Sneakers and dresses, trousers and sneakers. Just start playing with like opposites that attract and like you said, different texture. And just remember that accessories can completely change the outfit. You know, you could literally have the exact same outfit, change the shoes, change the purse, change your makeup, change your hair, and it's a completely new outfit and you would never even notice. Or take the shirt off and tie it around your waist. I mean, there's a million ways to just even style the same outfit.
Tennis shoes with trousers. Platform tennis shoes are the best to elongate the leg with a pant like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always throw a pair of platform sneakers in my travel bag with
I need
me.
to get a pair of those.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. And God, there's so many things. Dresses for me are huge. Like I think, you need to have a few dresses that you can really accessorize up or down with,
Mm-hmm.
because you just throwing one thing on, just like this romper. You don't have to think about piecing anything together.
Mm-hmm.
Like a maxi dress. Everybody should have a maxi dress in their closet. Just a long maxi dress. You can put sweatshirt over if it's cold outside.
Yep.
You know, that's definitely a go-to. Um, Also, I think that the vintage tea thing is so huge and hip and in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, people might not understand, if you see a vintage tee that you really, really, really like somewhere, and it's from 1970s and it's $50. That's not too much. Like, that's what that shirt is worth. Um,
Yeah.
so, don't deter yourself from buying a good staple piece that you could wear, in many different facets, to express yourself, just because it might be a little bit more expensive if you know that you're going to wear that piece a lot. Um,
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's not about the cost of it. It's about how much you like it and how much you're going to wear
right,
it.
right. Because you can take a vintage tee, and like you said, you could take a vintage, say it's I don't know, a full length tee on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take that and wear it that way with a nice suit and dress it up. Even do those platform shoes. It's still a dressed up business attire, casual, but it's dressy. You can take that same vintage tee, you can take off the jacket, you can tie the tee up in the front and the back, however you want. Show that belly off, girl. It's summertime now, Put a
Right?
pair of shorts on, put a cute little denim skirt, and you've got a whole different outfit.
Right.
Um, so I think vintage tees are definitely something that everybody should have in their closet. For those music lovers, buy the merch, support the band, but keep the shirt forever,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think the first thing that people really need to know their skin, the color of their undertone, whether they're cool or whether they're warm. You need to know the colors that look good on you. You need to know the color palettes to pull and keep, and to use as your go-tos. If you look at your wrists and you see mainly purple and blue veins, then you have a cool undertone. And if you look at your wrists and you have more green and olive veins, then you have a warm undertone. And if you have
I did
both,
not know that.
then you're neutral, which means that fashion is your oyster. So
Oh.
you have the blue and purple vein, the cool undertone. Generally speaking, blacks, whites, purples, blues, pinks, those colors are all going to look better on your skin tone. That would be what I have. If you have the green olive vein that you find more on you, then you are the warm undertone. That's going to be your yellows, your greens, your ivies, your browns, all your beiges. That's going to be a warm undertone. So I think really starting there, once you decide, okay, and really pick and know what your colors that you're working with are, then is when you can start piecing together the outfits, right? Because now you know visually what you're going to be wanting to wear the most, right? What's
Right.
going to
Like
be
you
best.
might not know why you don't like a color of something, but now you do.
Right. Right. Sure. Yeah. And if you ever had a question about it before, I mean, that is the easiest way to
I
know
love
your
that.
colors. Yeah.
I did not know about the vein trick.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other tricks you got up your sleeve? How about like for body type? Like, how do I know what body type I am if I'm not good at measuring? You have a trick for that?
I think it's best to look at your body and your outfit, and the measurements of thirds,
Mhm.
being that your torso and up is 1/3 of your outfit, and your waist down is 2/3 of your outfit. And if you just very simply, do I have a long torso or do I have a short torso or do I have a medium torso? Just like when you're, do I have oily skin, dry skin, or combo? Just break it down into threes. Do I have long legs? Do I have short legs? Or do I have average legs? And for you, for instance, you with your shorter torso, we've already discussed this, but something like crop tops look good on you, right? Because of
Right.
your frame. And then look at what you have. And that way, in that sense, you'll know what you need to just automatically put to the side and pass along to someone else, um, and what you have to work with in your closet. And I think it's important for people to realize just because they haven't seen it be done that they can still do it. So if you're looking at what you have in
Mhm.
your closet and you're thinking about pieces to keep and not keep, first off, if you haven't worn it in a year, unless it is a family heirloom, fucking get rid of it. Okay.
That's
Pass
right.
it along to somebody else. The only
Yeah.
exception for rule that I make for myself is I have probably over 100 vintage tees of my deceased fathers that I refuse to get rid of, but they're neatly all folded and put away in a drawer, and I wear them sometimes.
But that's
um
like your collection.
but
Like
that's
that's
a collection, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but
If it brings
don't be
you joy,
afraid.
I'm pretty sure they bring you joy.
Oh, absolutely. But don't
Yeah.
be afraid to mix crazy things together. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
be edgy. It's 2024. I don't care if you live in a small town where people don't do things like that, and you might be really stepping outside of your comfort zone, as opposed to if you lived somewhere like New York City. I get that. But express
Mhm.
yourself, express yourself.
Absolutely.
Clothes are meant to be worn different ways. Clothes are meant to be given different stories. And I just think that's really important for people to remember, and passing along things to friends too is such a feel good. This past year I had one of my good friends, Danny. She's a costumer here in Savannah, in the film industry. And her present to me was clothes that were hers that she regifted to me that she thought I would enjoy. And I love that. I love that idea of regifting clothes and passing them
Absolutely.
down to someone, you know.
I'm
That's a
so
good
glad you
way.
said that. Like the very first time I ever did anything with clothes where I was like, you know, in this whole world of like swapping, I actually got invited to a girls swap where it was like I think
Nice.
six
Yeah.
girls came over. Everybody
Yeah.
just brought all the clothes that they no longer wanted. And,
Yep.
we told stories about how we got them. I think hold a lot of weight in like how much we paid for something or, we got this somewhere even though it doesn't fit or we don't wear it anymore. But we love the story or like I wore this when I did such and such. But if you can share that experience with the person and dress them and put the clothes on them and say like I like to wear this with this and then tell them the story, it feels good to give it to them. And then every time they wear that, they think of that. And so it doesn't have to
Yeah.
just go to nowhere. It can
Right.
go to a friend or someone that you don't know at a swap or whatever. And then that story can live on and the person can appreciate the garment much, much more.
Right. Yep. That's, I mean, at my markets, not all of my pieces do I know the story behind,
Mm-hmm.
especially the vintage stuff, but a lot of them I do. And I love when someone buys a piece and I can tell them the story
Yeah.
behind it, or even how I acquired it. What
Yeah.
movie that was this going to be a part of, or was it a part of, or, if that's how I got that piece of my collection, or what family member of mine, wore this jacket. Like right now, I've got a really great red leather jacket that was my grandmother's, same grandma I spoke of earlier. And I've worn it and I've enjoyed it. And she's been gone for 14 years. And I've had this jacket and it's great. It's in perfect condition. And it's just time to pass it on, you know? Um, and,
Love that.
yeah. And I can't wait to see the person that buys it, and be
Yeah.
able to tell them how wonderful my grandmother was.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, so, and I think the right people appreciate stuff like that.
And you happen to come into the clothes that you're meant for. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the Goodwill or gone like with this t-shirt. Like, the clothes that I have are meant to be mine because of the story of the way that I got them. And it makes you appreciate them so much.
Don't be afraid to thrift. Some thrift stores are nicer than others. Some are, more consumer friendly to the eye than others.
Yes,
there's
for
Goodwill
sure.
still that you have to dig through the bins and, bring a pair of gloves, wash your hands afterwards, what have you. But don't be afraid to thrift, and
Yeah.
also another thing that we didn't talk about is look into your local organizations for places that you can donate locally. If
Mm-hmm.
you are looking to, get rid of things, whether it be clothes or whatever, just, really do the research and see the local shelters that may need your help and what they're looking for before you just go drop it off or before you throw it away. There's always somebody
Absolutely.
that can use it
I
somewhere.
think episode 5 is called Simply Not Trash, and I give a whole guide of like how you can find a great place for your no longer wanted items.
Awesome. And don't throw away vintage pieces, people. My gosh, somebody
No, don't throw
them.
anything away.
Yeah, don't throw these things away. Somebody somewhere will give them a new story. So
Absolutely.
stay mindful of that. And
The beer of the week is from Service Brewing Company. It's the Big Churro. It is so good. I was going to give you guys a whole list of notes, but I'll just put them in the blog and the show notes so you can find those there if you're looking for a good stout. It is so good. I have a joke of the week. Why can't fashion designers play Uno, Erin? Because they
because
always draw a cardigan.
again, I knew that.
Did you know that? That's so funny. Because they always draw a cardigan. I love it.
Now,
A couple of quotes that I came across that I love. People will stare, make it worth their while. Life is short, make every outfit count. Fashion is what you buy, but style is what you do with it, which I love that one. Clothes aren't going to change the world, but the woman who wears them will.
love that.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you remember to just, think about fashion a little bit differently, have a little bit more fun, express yourself. Remember to line dry your clothes if you can, swap your polyester for organic if you can and other natural materials. Purchase your new items or mindfully purchase them or secondhand, but the point is that you love them. And your challenge is that now that you have a closet full of only the things that you love, try to wear them differently in ways that you never have before. So thank you all again for listening. If you want to find more about Erin, I'll have all her info in the blog and the show notes. But her business is called Chunky Possum. It is super fab. If you want some upcycled denim, earrings, all the things. And thank you all again so much for listening.
And I hope everybody feels their best, beautiful self today and every